Well, this is the episode you waited for all year long.
All year.
Halloween is upon us. And this episode is... He's so excited.
Yeah, I love Halloween. How do you not like it? It looks like Halloween threw up on my shirt. Look at this. Jason, Michael got the Steelers, and they've been a pretty horror.
Scary too.
They're scary too this year.
Yeah. And we have the guest of all guests for Halloween.
Yep.
The host of Chiller Night Theater, Mr. Jack Shadow himself.
Brian Hogue will be with us tonight. Yep.
Yes. So this is going to be an epic episode here. We've waited all year round. I'm excited. You're excited.
Well, this is the pre-show to the show where it's Halloween all year long.
Right.
It just makes sense. And we'll be taking your mailbag questions from you. Call in now. Get a place in the queue.
Yeah.
Get it going.
Let's get it going.
Let's get it on.
Welcome to Dead and Buried Treasures Walk the Plank, the pre-show to Dead and Buried Treasures. And I am your host, as always, and this is the series creator, star, writer, director, captain...
Multi-talented. Can we keep this
captain
on my
of
resume?
ship. Sure.
Yeah, keep it on my resume.
Eric Sprouse. And getting right into this, because we got a big show tonight. This is Halloween. And
I even dressed up for it, didn't I?
He looks great.
Look at this mess. It's like you think Antonio Brown's scary. I mean, look at this. So I'm all set. This is our big Halloween show. I'm all ready.
Yeah.
This will be a long one tonight, folks.
Half hour, that's all we got.
Oh no, well, I mean the show. It's always about him.
I am the host.
That's right. It's all up here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. So this episode tonight, Night of the Living Dead. I mean, this is iconic. First of all, for Pittsburghers everywhere because it was filmed here. But this started the whole zombie movement and phenomenon. Night of the Living Dead, the original Night of the Living Dead, George Romero.
You know, when they first did Night of the Living Dead in the '60s, they paid their crew $1 and a T-shirt.
Wow.
And that's like what most college kids do now. That kind of stuff. Like, we buy them free pizza to make a movie like that. So you guys can do it too at home if you're doing low budget stuff. That's the way to do it. But it's the grandmother of them all. It started everything, the whole zombie thing. There was other zombie movies prior to that, but it dealt more with like voodoo and things like that.
Right.
There was a Bela Lugosi movie back in the '30s called White Zombie.
White Zombie. Yes,
And
I saw that.
it didn't really do the genre of zombies the way that you and I or anybody at home is really used to. So this is the granddaddy of them all, and I thought it was appropriate. You'll probably see Night of the Living Dead pop up on other channels the month of Halloween and October and stuff like that. But
But you will not see that movie shown on a pirate ship
that's
with
right,
Captain
yeah.
Calico Drake
Right.
and a bunch of other horror hosts as a guest.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the big crossover event, seeing it's Halloween, their horror
Right.
host, and who do you have lined up for this?
Well, I never saw you see crossover shows. You watch the CW, you see The Flash and Arrow and Supergirl and DC Legends of Tomorrow, and you see all these kind of things cross over. And now Batwoman's joining the ranks soon.
Right.
And you always see these things crossing over. And I thought, you never see this kind of stuff happen with horror hosts. And I thought that'd be really kind of cool to do. To have like a show with horror hosts all together and do something. So I wrote a crossover show for our show tonight. It really is an extravaganza. It involves a bunch of other horror hosts, and we're all united together to stop something that has happened. That my brother, who's my twin brother is on the show tonight, not for real, but the character on the show. His name is Reginald Gaylord Drake. And he's on the show, and he accidentally starts this whole chain of events in motion where I need the help of other horror hosts in the area. That's a tough tongue twister. Horror hosts in the area. So tonight you're going to see from Fright Night Theater, you're going to see the Spooky Spectre. Mm-hmm. You're going to see Jack Shadow from Chiller Night Theater. You're going to see Sluggo from the Vortex, which is the 24-hour monster movie network where they show 24 hours of monster movie horror hosts. Mm-hmm. And there was one other we tried to arrange, Gravely Macabre from the old Midnight Monster Hop show, who actually runs the Castle Blood attraction down in Monessen. But we just couldn't work it out, and
it's a busy time of the year for
it
them.
is, and I'm amazed that we have a guest coming up tonight. He runs an attraction like that as well, mm-hmm. and he found some time. It was very difficult, but he's actually going to be with us live.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he's coming up soon. Right?
He is. Yes, yeah. we're gonna take his call, and that would be Brian Hogue. He is the host of Chiller Night Theater.
That is correct.
Also,
yep.
Jack Shadow
mm-hmm.
himself. So.
Yep. And it's going to be a big event, and it's probably going to be a long one tonight, folks. I mean,
mm-hmm.
when you get all of us horror hosts together, and we're on location live at the cemetery where Night of the Living Dead was started, at the Evans Cemetery. Mm-hmm. So we go up there and we do some shooting up there, and it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a long one, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. And I've been looking forward to this one for a while.
So, yeah, with that being said, we're going to get right into taking Brian's call here. Get him on the show.
Yeah, Brian's good. We're going to call
Jack
Brian.
Shadow himself.
From Chiller Night Theater, and while you set up the call, I'll set up Jack.
All right.
Chiller Night Theater is a horror host show seen on PCTV and a streaming network that I first met him because I knew he was on PCTV. So mm-hmm. I saw it as another opportunity to get everybody together. And hello, Brian, are you there?
This is he.
Hello, Jack Shadow. You're with Calico Drake. You are. How are you, Brian? That's right. I keep encouraging you to do a little Jack Shadow for some of the viewers. Can you do a little bit for us?
Good evening. Welcome to Chiller Night Theater. I am your host, Sam Hating, Father Halloween, and Lord of the Dark. You may call me Jack Shadow.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, now he just left the room. Okay, it's Brian again.
All right. Thank you, Jack. Come back some other time. Hello, Brian. How are you?
Hey, Brian.
Brian, you're
how are you guys doing today?
Good. You're on our pre-show for Walk the Plank. Rich Cange is with us. He's the host of the show.
Yes, sir. How you doing tonight?
Good. Rich, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, yeah, I'm doing real good. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, I got to tell the people at home too. We did a little, not really a crossover show, but I was a guest on Chiller Night Theater's. Was it Chiller Chat, Brian?
It actually was the Chiller Night Live pre-show. It's kind of
right.
weird. There's so many chillers, you know. But I've got the Chiller Night Theater. I've got the Chiller Night pre-show, and then I have the Chiller Chat, which is it's a half-hour talk show. It's on Stream TV.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of fun. I felt like, but the nice thing about, for our viewers at home who might not be familiar with it, his show is about an hour, and it's entirely live, and because it is an hour, we just kind of sat back and just started talking, and I don't know when to shut up. My co-host here, Rich, will tell you, man, I don't know when to shut up, and he just asked me a question. I ramble for a half an hour, but Brian was courteous enough to let me ramble on for almost 20 minutes on his hour-long show. And thanks again for that. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's what we do on that. So I mean, it is a lot of fun. It's very laid back, it's very casual, and it's kind of neat because you can interact with the viewers. During that hour, and
right.
It's just kind of fun. I enjoy doing it.
So you've been doing this for 8 years?
Well, I've been doing Jack Shadow as a horror host since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, almost a decade, over a decade.
I started out in a show called Sleepy Hollow Theater, and then in 2015, I changed the name to Chiller Night Theater, just as a homage to Chiller Theater. And I talked with Bill Cardell, Chilly Billy, and I said, "Are you okay with that? I mean, just the name out of respect is a homage, so closely titled to Chiller Theater." And he was totally fine with it, and so I changed it on the night that he was a guest on the show.
Oh, very cool.
So,
Wow.
That's a nice history about that, too. And I found out about the whole show whenever I started putting Dead and Buried Treasures on PCTV in Pittsburgh to find out that there was a Chiller Night Theater, and I said, I got to check into this. This sounds awesome. So the rest is kind of, I don't want to say history because that just kind of makes it sound like we kind of smeared it all over, but the truth of the matter is that Brian and I started talking, and I said I should try to do some kind of a collaboration show where we have horror hosts on the show, like a big CW crossover show.
Right. And for Halloween of all times, that's perfect.
Yeah. And of course, Brian was gracious enough to join us for that, and now we're out saving the universe. So we'll see how it goes.
No, I appreciate it. I really do. I enjoy all things horror and horror hosts, and so to me, it was just a lot of fun, and I love the idea of the collaboration, the crossover. I'm a comic book geek at heart, and I love horror. And when you said that, of course, that's kind of what I think of. All the universes kind of converging into one.
So you said you're a comic book geek. Did that have any influence on you creating the character Jack Shadow?
I would say kind of in that I love the old EC comics, Tales from the Crypt and the old ones from decades ago. I was a big fan of those long before the HBO series. And just always loved that idea of the narrator, the horror host, even in the comic books. So I guess in that aspect, yeah. There's another part of Jack Shadow that's there's kind of a Dr. Doomish quality to him. He's kind of got that with megalomaniac, maniacal to him.
I kind of got that. That's why I had to ask.
Well, if you ever have Reed Richards on the show, now you got a whole thing.
Yeah.
I love that angle. Yeah. So what do you think? Let me ask you a question, Brian. We never really got a chance to discuss this. What do you think about the horror hosting genre overall? Is it a dying business, or is it a rejuvenated, kind of a renovated business?
I think it may have been headed that way at one point, maybe within the last, I don't know, even 5 to 10 years. But I actually think this is a good time to do it because everything is kind of coming back. It's making full circle. Everything that was cool in the 70s, 80s, especially the 80s, is making a return. So I think I think the answer to that question is no. I think this is actually a great time for it. And if you look, I actually think the market's head right now is huge. I think it's a lot more now than it was even 20 years ago.
I thought the same thing, which is why I kind of got back into the horror hosting business. I did a show before called Fright Night Friday, and the Spooky Spectre is going to be on our Dead and Buried Treasures show tonight as well, and he has moved on to call it Fright Night Theater. And I like the idea of doing like a crossover show and having all of our horror host shows come together, and I think that's kind of a unique opportunity to showcase your efforts, my efforts, Spooky's efforts, even Sluggo at the Vortex doing stuff, and it's unique, and I think that's a lot of fun, especially when we try to create our own personas and characters and our own backstories of what each show is about. I think that's just a lot of fun in general. That I think and it also gives us an opportunity to open up into other universes where I can introduce my audience to Jack Shadow, and Spooky can introduce his audience to Calico Drake, and so on and so forth.
Right. No, I love the idea. I thought it was a lot of fun you and I first talked on the phone about it, I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this with, doing the haunted house and all, but then you sent me the script and everything, and I thought, oh, this is awesome. No, I got to do this. I just got to make this happen. So,
well, now's the time to do.
That's what is going to happen.
Now's a great time for crossovers because, as you said, the CW does a crossover, and just recently they announced that another horror host, Svengoolie, is going to be in a Justice League comic book.
Oh yeah.
They took that character.
I saw that.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
Forever immortalized, as they say, right?
Yes. So, with a character like Svengoolie, I would love to see Jack Shadow in a comic book because I think he's more, has that more villain persona than Svengoolie. I'd like to see him team up with some villains.
Yeah, and he's got a makeup regimen I'm sure he goes through too.
Right.
I know that's difficult for me alone when I'm doing the pirate garb. The hair and the tanning spray to make me look like I've been out in the sun, and I can't see with one eye, but it's hard to do. But I do it. I mean, you gotta have some kind of regimen for putting your host together too, don't you?
It is. Yeah, I use actually the mask that I'm wearing that I've worn since 2014. Is a mask that I actually made myself. I sculpted it and I ran the foam, and so it's like that is a foam latex mask. And then of course I do the makeup underneath that. I have the contact lenses, and then of course the costume itself. So there's a process. Yep, there's a process to it.
Yeah.
And it's only it's a labor of love. I don't know why else we have grown men dressing up like monsters and pirates, but we do it anyway. So.
Right, and I think everybody else at home doesn't get the fact that it's difficult. I mean, they think, oh, why don't you shoot one every week? Why don't you shoot one, twice? One a month is it for me, and I know you do more than that. Don't you do 2 in a month's time?
It depends. There's been times when I've done maybe 1. There's been times I've done 5. It all kind of varies on my schedule on what I'm working around at the time. But then before I started with the haunted house, for example, I was doing a live Killer Night Theater every Friday night, first Friday of the month, and that's just as consuming. Other than the drive to the TV studio, that's just as consuming on my end as a regular episode at Stream TV. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time.
Oh yeah, and I know everybody tonight here is looking forward to the crossover show. It airs tonight, right after Walk the Plank ends. Hey, Brian, I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. It was really nice of you to give up some of your time to talk to us, and we look forward to maybe another collaboration in the future. And thanks again for being on tonight.
Oh, Eric, thank you very much for having me on Walk the Plank, and I enjoyed all this, and thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch, Brian. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you. There he goes. That's Brian Hogue, your host for Chiller Night Theater, who's on our crossover collaboration tonight, along with the Spooky Spectre from Fright Night Theater and Sluggo from the Vortex Network, the Horror Host Network.
That's going to be epic.
It'll be epic tonight. We'll see what happens.
Can't wait.
What do you want to do? Break? Get rid of the mailbag? What do you want to do?
Well, we got some callers lined up here.
Oh, okay.
We better just get into it.
All right, that sounds great.
So our first caller actually is Darlene. She's a student at Washington Jefferson College.
Oh yeah, Darlene from Washington and Jefferson College.
Yep.
Nice to have you on the show, Darlene. How are you? What's going on tonight?
Good evening, gentlemen. I love the Walk the Plank show. I love local television, and I especially like yours when you talk about special effects that you do on the show. So the thing about Dead and Buried Treasures that I like is you guys talk about how to do low-budget special effects instead of that Hollywood glitzy stuff. My question deals more with the overall theme of this show. I was wondering how you get the ideas for your stories, or if you have anything coming up on the show on how Captain Drank and his crew got cursed in the first place.
Oh,
that's a good one because
Darlene, you read my mind.
That too.
Yeah, we've left that as an interesting backstory that we haven't touched on yet. and we are planning on touching on it in the spring as we start our second season. So yeah, that's definitely going to happen. We're going to show you a little bit. We've touched on the backstory about how we're cursed pirates hosting horror movies on this enchanted island of movies, but there is a mythological approach to it when we rate these episodes. So yeah, there is a segment or a show coming up in the spring that will delve into that mythology. And how I ended up writing them, drank a lot.
So you're almost like a rock musician.
Yeah, I just sit there and say, what's happened this week? Yeah, that sounds good. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how. I just kind of sit down at the computer and we just say, welcome to the show, and it just kind of unrolls itself. And the nice thing about it is it complements, whatever I write, I try to complement the movie we're hosting, because I never really thought of my segments as the starring bit of the show as much as it is the movie we're hosting, because without them, I'm just a crackpot, just with a makeup saying "har," So I mean, you got to complement somehow the movie that we're hosting too. So a lot of it is inspiration provided by the movies we're hosting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we have another caller, Janet. She's from Southside, Pittsburgh.
Janet, how are you tonight, Janet?
Hi, guys. I hope you're doing well this evening.
Doing good.
First-time caller, but I'm a big fan of science fiction and pop culture. My question is, do you have any plans to do any specials for Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Halloween?
Well, it's actually a good thing that you called.
Because we get the Halloween episode.
The Halloween's an episode. You're going to be happy because guess what? Tonight, it's Halloween. So
what about Thanksgiving? That's coming up next.
Yeah, we do have something kind of in the works, but not quite as the level as we do with Halloween, because the show here is where it's Halloween all year long. So we like to do something with that. But
Killer Turkey, perhaps?
There is a movie called Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
It had 3 sequels.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 2 sequels. So there's three trilogy. Yeah.
Wow.
Thanksgiving, and it's about a killer turkey.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
But I didn't know they had 3 movies.
But it was an independent movie, and I just didn't. We might have it on next year. I didn't get the opportunity to get in touch with the producers because it's independent. You just can't get the rights to it. And I just don't put any old movie on TV. That's illegal. So it's called Thanksgiving. I'm going to see if I can at least get 2 of the movies on next year. I think that'd be fun. But as Christmas is approaching, yes, we do have a Christmas special that we are going to air every year because that's kind of like when we take a little bit of a break to go.
And so it wouldn't be Silent Night, Deadly Night, would it?
No, no. It's you have to tune in and see the Christmas special when it airs to see exactly what it is. But it's a lot of fun, and it's Christmas, and so there is but for Thanksgiving coming up after the Halloween show, we do have. It's called And Then There Were None. It's an Agatha Christie whodunit where they're all gathered together for this big dinner party, kind of like, at home where you're gathering everybody together for turkey and stuffing and for a big dinner party. Only the difference between ours and theirs is we murder everyone. Well, which is kind of what some of the relatives, would you want to do to some of your relatives there at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, same difference.
Moving on. We have Mike from Castle Shannon.
Mike, how's Castle Shannon tonight? How are you?
Captain Drake, I just want to tell you that I love your movies, love your show. I wish I could be a part of your crew for real. And hope you keep showing a bunch of the good movies. If you can, try to get some of those Hammer ones on there with like the Horrors of Dracula, maybe the Wolfman, some of those older ones. But yeah, you're doing a great job, and I hope the cable company sees that, and I hope you continue to have a long run, Captain, on your ship.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the call. Thanks. I guess, we lost. Was it Bob?
It was Mike.
Mike from Castle Shannon. Thank you for your call, Mike. Yeah, we do have some plans to see if we can get some of the Hammer films. I think the Wolfman, though, is owned by Universal Studios. I don't think you'll see him on our show. You might see something like, there is a movie, Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory, that might be available, that we might show that, hey, whatever works, right? I mean, that's a lot of fun. But I don't think we can actually get the actual Wolfman. But yeah, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate that. And we are going to try to get some of the Hammer films on, especially the Dracula ones with Christopher Lee. I loved him as Dracula.
So that's it for the callers for right now. But
okay.
I do want to get into, we have some contest winners.
Yes. Last week on the show, we had a trivia question.
Yes.
For the movie Africa Screams. And you had, if you could name the book that the two thugs come into the bookstore wanting to get off of Lou Costello, you won an oil change. Well, we got a winner on that. The book was?
I don't know what the book was. I know the winner.
Who was the winner? I'll say the book, you do the winner.
It was Tommy Perry.
Tommy Perry.
From Donaldson's Crossroads.
Donaldson's Crossroads.
You answered the question that I could not. And what is the answer?
Dark Safari was the answer. That's the book that they come into looking for that has a map inside that takes everybody to Africa to look for King Kong and treasure and all kinds of stuff like that. So.
I fell asleep during that part.
Well, you know, there's a lot of dialogue in those old movies, man.
Although that was a great movie. A lot
of dialogue.
Abbott and Costello are my favorites. I love that movie.
Yeah, and it was yeah, they're my favorite too. What was the other question? What was the other contest?
That was the one where you were at the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, that's right.
They had to find you at the Renaissance Festival and name the movie.
We had so Tommy Perry won the Midas oil change through our contest here on Walk the Plank, and then we had a Facebook contest where if you came out to the Pirates weekend at the Renaissance Festival and found me, and you could tell us the name of the movie that we showed that weekend, which was Africa Screams, you'd have a walk-on cameo in the spring when we're doing those episodes.
And the winner of that?
And that winner was Vanessa Pancott of Upper St. Clair. So she came out, found me at the festival. Good job on that. And named, not only knew who I was and picked me out of all the other pirates there that weekend, but also named the movie. So she's the winner of the cameo role in the spring, and we look forward to working with Vanessa once we get that role scripted.
Yeah. There you go. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're still working on the big night tonight, which is Halloween, and our big special tonight. And I think I'm pretty sure it's going to go 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's going to go 3 hours. This is the longest script I think we ever had because of all these horror hosts in here. So I bet when you add Night of the Living Dead, which I think was an hour and 37 minutes, that's already an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Not even counting. And we're only supposed to be a 2-hour show, but we always do run over because most of your stations sign off. So I got a feeling it's going to go every bit of 3 hours tonight.
Yeah.
But it's going to be worth it. You're going to love it. It's going to be awesome.
It's Halloween, so
we're saving the world as we always are.
So yeah, look forward to that. That's coming up next.
Yep.
Man, that's about all the time we have.
Halloween.
That's it. So happy Halloween. Enjoy this episode, Night of Living Dead.
Be a lot of fun.
Giant crossover. And we'll see you back here.
Before we leave tonight, real quick, I want to say another special thanks to all the horror hosts that participated in this episode coming up tonight. Without their tiresome efforts, it would not have been possible. And also a special shout out to Brian Hogue, who is the creator of Chiller Night Theater, for joining us here on Walk the Plank to tell us about his show and tonight's involvement with our crossover show. Let's get it on. I'm excited to see what it looks like. Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right?
All right. It's coming up next. Night of Living Dead. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Drinking the devil be done for the rest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. The mate was fixed by the bosun's spike, bosun's brain with a marlin spike, and the cookie's throat was marked with light, had been gripped by fingers and